Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time it's my top 5 tips if you're just starting to get into collecting vintage paperbacks. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. So tip number 1 then is collect what you love. So there's not a lot of point collecting something that you're not really going to enjoy. So whether you collect an author or by publisher, cover artist or by genre, always collect what you're actually going to enjoy reading. These are books after all, so personally I collect by publisher. I do collect some authors, but predominantly I like to collect by publisher, but I'm quite unusual. Lots of people have got a few favourite authors and you might want to get the full set. You might want to get a certain genre, like you just collect science fiction or horror books or westerns. It's very, very much a personal choice, but just collect what you love, because if you're not collecting that, then what's the point really? So tip number 2 then is do your research. If you're just starting collecting, have a look online. Don't bite off more than you can chew. If you decide to collect by a publisher, how many books might you be looking to track down? Do you buy first editions, reprints, or just reading copies? There are so many things to consider. Don't start an impossible task, particularly if you can't afford it. So collect within your means, put a finite end goal on it. Don't do like I did. 30 years ago, I decided to start collecting Penguin books, and no one's ever going to get them all. It's just impossible. They published too much. I don't even think Penguin have got them all in their archive. So you have to limit yourself. Say you wanted to collect the Doctor Who books. Well, that I guess would be a finite project. You've got about 160 of the original books. That's something that you could track down. Or you're collecting a numbered series like the Edge books, 61 Edge books, boom, I can go and track that down. But if it's open-ended, then you're going to have a real issue. Say it's an author, I don't know, say you wanted to collect J.G. Ballard. So Ballard has passed away now, so his output is a known quantity. So you could say, well, I'm going to get all the J.G. Ballard books, and I'm going to collect them in paperback first, or I'm going to collect them in hardback first edition. But you can set yourself a goal and just consider if it's something that you can actually afford and is attainable. So tip number 3, do you have the room? So books can take up quite a bit of space, even little paperbacks. Often the books are pretty cheap to locate, so a large collection can come together quite easily, unless you're very, very selective about what you buy. So personally, I like to buy in job lots, and I seem to attract paperbacks wherever I go. If I'm in charity shops, if I'm at boot sales, I can't help but pick up paperbacks here and there, and you pick up a couple here and a couple there. You might buy a couple online each week, and all of a sudden you've got lots and lots of books to deal with. Now, I love buying in bulk, and that's the best way to buy books cheap. But just make sure you have actually got somewhere to stick them, or they'll just get on your nerves, they'll be in the way, and you'll think, oh, what am I doing with all these paperbacks? Tip number 4 is buy wisely. So often picking books off one by one online through places like eBay or ABE books can end up being very expensive. It's maybe okay if it's the last book you needed to finish a series. So I'm in the middle of collecting the Edge books. I need just one volume to finish it off, number 60. So if a reasonably priced copy was to turn up online, I would buy that one. However, I do like buying collections from other collectors and in bulk, and the deals are usually better. I usually have a few spare copies to sell on or use in trades, and the price per book works out a lot cheaper. If you've already got a book, you can check it against your existing copy, and maybe then you'll get an upgrade to your own collection. You can sell your other one online. I always chase down bulk collections, and I've been buying from a pair of retired collectors quite recently, and been getting a box of books every month from them, and that's fantastic. I've also bought literally carloads of paperbacks in the past, so it's brilliant to buy that way. You can save yourself a lot of money, but you need to be quite regimented, because you're going to have a lot of books that you're not going to want, and you need to get those out the door so you're not falling over them. So tip number 5 is buy the best copies that you can. So if you are putting a collection together, especially if it's something rare or highly collectible, just buy the best copies that you can afford. It'll pay off in the future as an investment, and top quality collectibles, really in any genre, in high grade, they do always hold their value. So for example, over the years, you find that your standards as a collector tend to get more and more picky, and you just want better and better quality books. And stuff that I picked up 2-3 decades ago, I look at now and think, why on earth did I pick that up? Was it just a filler? Or, I can't believe I've not upgraded that in all this time. The Paperbacks horror stories, there's 30 volumes of that. So those books are all out there, every single one. Some of them in different conditions and prices and that, but if it was me and I just was focusing on that particular series, I would aim to buy first editions. I'd want them in absolute tip-top or very fine at least condition. And I'd be willing to wait and be patient, have an upper limit of what I'd be prepared to pay for each volume, and then pick them off one by one. And at the end of the run, those 30 books are going to look absolutely fantastic on your shelf. And more importantly, it's an investment, and you'll be able to get that investment money back, because higher quality collectibles always hold their value. So I think that is a shrewd but very, very important tip. If you are looking to spend a bit of money on vintage paperbacks, buy the best quality copies that you can afford. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed these top 5 collecting tips if you're getting into the world of vintage paperbacks. If you've got any more, do please leave them in the comments down below. Thanks very much for watching today. If you've not already, do please hit the subscribe button for regular vintage paperback content, and I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.